What's up, y'all? Long awaited full body program. People have been asking about it almost nonstop since I first made that community post. I just like to take the time when I make programs to beta test things on people. A couple of people have seen this beforehand. I just posted it on Patreon. This is early access. By the time this video is posted, they'll have already had access to it for a few hours. So we just want to go through a few things. This program's a little bit different than my other ones. So I'm really big just in general on showing people how to do things. You teach a man a fish, you feed him for a lifetime. You give a man a fish, you feed him for the day. However that proverb goes. This program is very simple to follow and very easy to customize, and it gives you all the tools to do that. But let's just go over the split and then talk about a few things in terms of who the program's for and who's not. So it's a full body 3 times a week split. The way I split it up basically is that you work your full body each day. It's just you have different emphasis so you don't overtrain any particular thing, or that you're not in the gym for too long and you're not beating yourself into the ground trying to fit squat, bench, deadlift into every training session. So that's more or less how it breaks down here in the split section. Now, in terms of your training days, I put something in here for the conditioning enjoyers as well. So what you'll notice is that you have your sessions spaced out with your rest days, or your non-weight training days, I guess is what they are. On each non-weightlifting day, you're doing some form of active recovery and or conditioning. I have exactly where I want you to do conditioning, exactly where I want you to do active recovery. So you have 2 conditioning days, and then all 4 rest days are active recovery, regardless of if you're doing conditioning or not. Now, I also have a conditioning guide. Now, this is just for people who want to do that. If you don't want to do the conditioning work, that is not a mandatory part of the program. It might even be a little bit more conducive to putting in all your eggs in a basket for weight training. But we just go through a few things in terms of who the program is for, and if you want to do conditioning, how I want you to go about that, and questions that I want you to answer yourself. This program is not for people that just want a template that's just going to tell them exactly what to do, the exact reps. This is for people to ask themselves questions to be able to branch out the program in any direction that they need to. It's like on a fighting game, like the auto combos are only going to be helpful to a point. At a certain point, guys, you need to know how to play the game, or you're going to start getting your ass whooped on the fighting game. So this is more so to go with that line of thinking. It's not any galaxy brain stuff. In fact, with these resources here, we go through everything that you'll need, all fully time-stamped. So we have the way I want you to approach your warm-ups, exactly how I want you to do that. Different bodybuilding variations, variations that train a squeeze versus a stretch. How I tier hip hinges. So like good mornings would be like a tier 3, deadlifts would be tier 1. And then a few just simple progression models. People love simple progression model 1. That video was a banger. Watch all of those, but that's the most popular out of any of these. My simple progression model 2, also very popular. The evolving rep ranges, or the rep goal system, very, very easy to follow. Beating the books, probably the easiest progression model to follow. And then just for people who want to optimize their program, I also have my exercise tier list that I made a couple months ago. And then for people who want to know the nuts and bolts of how to make a program or how to modify a program, I also have this resource here as well. Now, in terms of people that want to shorten their sessions, this is probably the last thing that we're going to go over. This is an exploratory program. I want you guys to, each have your own unique individual experience with this. I give guidelines in terms of the type of exercises you need to put here, and then the resources to help you guide those choices. But each of you guys is going to have a different program. That's the really cool part about it. Now, in terms of how to shorten your sessions, supersets, giant sets, you can even do agonist supersets. It's basically GigaBrain way of saying, you do chest and chest or chest and triceps, as opposed to like a regular superset that's more or less like chest and back, more of like an antagonist superset. In addition to that, it's going to tell you how to warm up to shorten your training sessions, how to rest the training, shorten your training sessions. This is just for people who either A, don't want to be in the gym for like a optimal amount of time, or people who can't be in the gym for an optimal amount of time. So really cool program. Okay, for the Kapakulak enjoyers, since it is called a full body program, with the conditioning, if you want, pulling the rope is like a meme exercise that Kiriakos Grizzly does, but low key, you could simulate that with the rowing machine. And I just thought that's something I'd mention since I have that here as a recommended conditioning method. I don't want you pulling a rope on, like a pallet with a bunch of weight plates on it. You're going to damage your floor at the gym, but you can simulate that with the rowing machine. So that's just a little golden tidbit I'd leave for you guys. Really awesome program. I really appreciate you guys for your excitement and, always asking about this, but it's finally out. Let me know if y'all have any questions or comments. Enjoy.